now we're going to create a Leatherhard slab construction. And remember, Leatherhard is when the clay has been allowed to dry some and it's much more firm. So I have two examples of the slabs. One that has just been rolled out and very soft, as you can see, really doesn't hold its shape. So that is not what we want when we're doing a Leatherhard construction. We want that clay to have been allowed to dry for a while. This was made some time ago, and as you can see now, it's still soft, but it has gotten to a point of dryness where it is much more resistant to gravity. So this is the state we want to be at as we create our Leatherhard slab construction. And just as an example, this is what we're looking to make, is a rectangular lidded box. And so as we're building each of the sides, that resistance of the Leatherhard clay is very important. So as you can see, this is consisting of 6 sides. We have identical top and bottom sides, which I have cut out here. And then we have all 4 sides, which are identical rectangles. So this will be going together like so, all the way around. All right, so when we connect these, it's important that we bevel those connections. We're going to make a 45-degree angle or thereabouts edge to each of our slabs. This might take some practice to get a good angled edge, but something in the vicinity of a 45-degree angle should be achieved on each edge. Let me now cut a 45-degree angle on all the sides of this first piece. And as you can see, I'm turning it each time so that I'm able to cut towards me. And this may be a better way to control your cutting tool as you go through the clay. A little bit more difficult to cut away or across your body, which towards your body is giving you much more. So we're going to make all of these pieces the same way, beveled on all 4 sides. And even though it's going to be lidded, we're actually going to cut the lid once the box is completely sealed. So we're first going to achieve a rectangular box, and then we'll cut the lid later. All right, so we've created a bevel on all 6 pieces that run all the way around at roughly a 45-degree angle. Don't worry if it's not exact, but close enough. And then we're going to connect this together. And I have it laid out as they're going to come together. The bottom will hinge up this way, the top this way, and all the sides. As we have learned before, we want to slip and score all edges thoroughly. And as the pieces are connected, they begin to support each other, and the fact that the clay is leather hard means that you can almost complete the construction without delay. So we have scored all the edges of the top, and we'll do this side. I like to keep the pieces in the arrangement that they'll be going together so we don't forget where things go. Keep track of everything as it goes. And it's also much more difficult to score edges when the construction is together somewhat. So let's go ahead and begin to put these together. As you can see, a liberal amount of slip. Turn this to the side to give you a little better view. Got slip between the two, and then I'm going to hinge that right up and allow that. You want to see a little bit of that slip kind of drizzle out of there. That's a good connection there. And now we're going to put this side on. So scoring these 2 edges. As they will correspond. And once the first 3 sides are together, it really takes on a much more substantial feel. So slip across the scored edge on all accounts. And then in this case, I'm matching up 2 sides. So setting, hinging upward into place. Being mindful to press firmly, join them well, but not so much that you distort your nice flat slabs. And then we have a wonderful edge and corner here. And we can continue to box up all the different sides with the remaining pieces.
All right, welcome back for our second part of the slab construction. We have both soft slab construction and Leatherhard slab construction. Today we're going to talk about how we'll finish off the Leatherhard slab construction by creating a flange and a lid. So as you can see over here, we have our flange kind of described in the drawing here. That shows how we're going to have an inset piece of slab that will allow for a much more fitted situation between the lid and the base of the construction. So I have over here our construction completely put together, all of the sides slipped and scored. It's just a completely sealed box at this point. And we're going to open this up and we're going to create a flange. Now I've just about cut through all the sides but one last side, and that's this side. And we're going to take a sharp tool and we're going to cut that final side to make our lid. All right. I've tried to keep the tool as close to a 90-degree angle as possible as I cut through, and it may take a few passes to completely release the top from the bottom. Once it is released, you can see that we have our 2 sides that fit more or less perfectly back together again. Okay, now that we've cut it completely apart, we're going to add the flange. As we've cut this in a kind of wavy line, it already sort of fits together pretty well, but it has a tendency to slide around. By adding that flange, it will be a very nice positive fit all the way around. So we're going to basically put the flange around this inner wall here, and that will just line up nicely with the inside dimension of the base. So I've made some slabs here that are still quite soft and pliable, and we're going to use the slipping and scoring method to attach the flange on the inside. So let me go ahead and begin that process here. So first scoring where the flange is going to be set, and then checking the flange to fit. And as I'm determining the flange fit, I can kind of pre-bend the slab so that as I make my way around, I can kind of set those corners. So let's slip and score this on. And now as you can see, I've put the flange all the way around the inside of the lid, and that flange will allow for this not only to fit across this plane, but also the second plane. So as they come together, you have a very nice connection, very solid connection. It certainly won't slide. So you have a nice fitted lid for your Leatherhard slab construction.